Hello everyone, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. So as most of you know, I recently launched my freelance makeup artist business. So I thought today, let's do another client makeup tutorial. I know that I love watching them. There's something about it that's just so satisfying. I love filming them, so I hope that you love watching them as much as I do. So today's client is Lucy. Now she's actually been one of my closest friends for about 11 years now, and it's funny because all that time ago was when I was first getting into makeup, playing, experimenting, so she was definitely my guinea pig for a few very interesting looks when I really had no idea what I was doing. Like, I'm talking blue eyeshadow, neon liner, so it's really awesome to have her back now that I know a little bit more about what I'm doing. Now Lucy has these beautiful blue eyes, so I wanted today's look to really enhance those, and orange enhances blue. So today I'll be doing an orangey copper look, so I'm talking warm toned smoky eye, beautiful copper glitter on the lid, a classic nude lip. So if that sounds good to you, then be sure to just keep on watching. But before we get started, if you live where I live, which is Sydney, Australia, I have a super exciting giveaway for you where basically 2 of you will be winning free makeup when you get your makeup done by me. It's seriously that simple, so be sure to stay till the end of the video where I will be giving you all the details on how you can enter. Before you leave, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Be sure to check out my Instagram, which will be linked down below for all things makeup. And if you would like your makeup done by me, then my website will also be linked down below. And don't forget, for you Sydney viewers, that I'm hosting a giveaway in today's video, so be sure to stay until the end of the video for all the details on that. Woo! Okay, now that's all said and done, let's just jump straight into this client makeup tutorial. So starting off with a fresh, clean face, I'm going to take the P.Louise base in the shade 1 on the Morphe M224 brush, and I'm applying a generous amount all over her eyelid area to prime the eyes, which will help intensify the pigmentation of the shadows and just help them last longer throughout the day. And I'm starting with the eyes first, as I will be applying some glitter, which may cause a little bit of fallout on the cheek area. So just starting with the eyes first to prevent any potential mess later on. So today we're going to be using the Morphe / Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm starting with the shade Jacz on the Morphe Y18 brush, and I'm using tapping motions to really pack this shade in her outer corner. Then working up to the crease, I'm taking a smaller brush, so the Morphe Y20 brush, as Lucy does have a somewhat deep set crease, so I wanted to use a smaller brush to really tuck this shade in her crease to ensure we have an even application. Continuing with that same small bullet brush, I'm taking the shade Roxanne and applying it just above that previous shade. I like to use the edge of my thumb to just gently lift the skin of the eye area, and this is going to make shadow application so much easier as it just lifts those little folds and creases that we all have, and it makes the surface a little smoother and flatter to apply the shadow on top of. Now taking the shade Hunt on the Morphe M456 brush, and this shade is really going to help create that orangey, coppery, smoky eye look that we're after. And so far I've been using tapping motions, but I'm now going to be using blending windshield wiper motions to help diffuse the edge of that harsh line. Now to create that gorgeous gradient from dark to light, I'm now going to take the shade Creamsicle on that same Morphe Y20 brush, and I'm using tiny little circular motions to help fade any harsh lines and to create a seamless, beautiful blend. Now it is time to cut the crease, so I'm taking that same P.Louise base and Morphe M224 brush and just applying this in her crease and following her natural crease shape. And I like to turn the brush on its side to help diffuse that harsh line between the primer and the shadow, and this will help the blending process later on. Now, obviously, if you had time restrictions with your client, you would skip over the next step as it's not completely necessary, but if I have got the time, it's definitely something that I like to do, and that is go in with some makeup remover and a cotton tip and remove all of that primer on the lid. And this is going to give us a fresh start and a clean canvas to work with when applying the next shadow we're going to go in with. And I love these double-ended cotton tips that you can just get at your local drugstore, Target. They definitely come in handy in your freelance kit. I'm going back in with the darkest shade we've used, which is Jacz, and aligning the edge of this half-cut crease to intensify it, redefine it. And it's okay if this step's a little bit messy because we can just go back in with some more makeup remover on a cotton tip to clean up the lid. Now, before I apply anything on the lid, I want to tight line Lucy's eyes using the Inglot Black Gel Liner on the Zoeva Fine Liner Brush. And to do this, I'm just using the edge of my thumb to gently lift Lucy's eye for easier application and just getting her to look in the opposite direction of where I'm applying the product. And we're reapplying that base all over the lid, and now's the opportunity to really clean up and sharpen the edge of the cut crease. Now, I don't want her lid to be tacky, so I'm taking the shade Silk Cream with the Morphe M166 brush and applying a thin layer all over her lid to prevent this. Back in with that shade Hunts, and I'm blending this between the lid and outer corner shade for that gradient of color and to help with the blending process. Now let's work on the lid. So I'm taking the Too Faced Glitter Glue on the Sigma Cream Color Brush and applying this all over the lid, and this is going to help intensify the next shadow that we're going to go in with. Time for the fun part, so I'm taking the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Let Me Pass and applying this all over the lid, and oh my goodness, how gorgeous is this metallic orange coppery goodness. I am obsessed with this shade. And back in with that shade Hunts on the Morphe M456 brush to again create that gorgeous gradient and blend between the lid shade and outer corner, and just to ensure everything is seamless and there are no harsh lines. And back in with more of that Too Faced Glitter Glue before it is time to make that lid pop. So we're taking the Glitter Realm glitter in the shade Self Made and just pressing that onto the lid. Wow, can we just take a second to appreciate how much these coppery orange tones just take blue eyes to the next level, and I am obsessed. I'm just using a cotton tip with makeup remover to clean up the edge of the eyeshadow before removing any fallout on the cheek using a cotton pad. I'm just quickly curling Lucy's lashes before taking the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on a disposable mascara wand and coating the front and back of her lashes, prepping them for some falsies. I'm using the Duo Lash Adhesive and the Model Rock 259 lashes. They are beautiful and wispy, and just applying this as close to our lash line as possible using some tweezers. And I never want my client to close their eyes because that can scrunch their eyes and it just makes the process so much harder. So I always ask my client to look down during this step. And just going over that lash band to ensure that it is undetectable using some more of that Inglot Black Gel Liner. Just running some mascara through the false lashes before stamping the false and natural lashes together to help create a seamless blend between the two. And now onto the face, and Lucy has normal skin, so I took the Stila One Step Correct Primer, and as she has no blemishes that we need to cover or color correct, I took this primer to just help even out her skin tone. And now for foundation, I'm taking the Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade 1 and 6, and I love combining these shades together to create a really gorgeous, soft, bronzy shade, as Lucy does have a light layer of fake tan on, and I'm just buffing that into her skin using the Morphe Y6 brush. I'm taking this RCMA palette and the Sigma Precision Round brush and applying a slightly lighter shade concealer under her eyes and to the center of her face before going in with the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick and applying this to the hollows of her cheeks and around the perimeters of her face, and this is going to help create more dimension to her face and ensure that her face doesn't look flat or one-dimensional. and just using this slightly larger Zoeva Silk Finish brush to buff in that bronzer. I'm using the Mercier translucent powder on the Morphe E48 brush to set Lucy's under eyes before taking the Morphe Y3 brush to set the rest of her face to ensure that those liquids we've just applied don't slip or slide or budge throughout the day. Moving on to bronzer, I'm taking the Anastasia powder bronzer in Rosewood on the Morphe M405 brush to really warm up her complexion. And I think warm, bronzy skin really complements this eye look. With that same brush, I'm taking this neutral, dusty, pink-toned shade from the Morphe 9N palette, and I'm applying this to the apples of her cheeks and bring it back towards her temples to really bring some color back to her face. I'm taking the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped and the shade Summer with the Morphe Y14 brush, and I'm applying this to the high points of her cheeks and bringing it up above her brow to give her skin that gorgeous glowy look. And I'm also highlighting her inner corner with this shade to make her eyes really pop. Let's move on to brows. So I'm going to take the Chi Chi Brow Pomade in Blonde on the Morphe M158 brush, and Lucy has quite fair brow hairs, so rather than, completely reshaping them into that bold, Instagram-looking brow, I just wanted to enhance her natural brow shape and just darken the hairs slightly so that the brow becomes a little bit more of a prominent feature on her face. And to do this, I'm just using small, light-handed brush strokes. I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics Gimme Brow Plus in the shade 2 to make her brow hairs look a little bushier and fuller. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm going back in with that Inglot Black Gel Liner and Zoeva Fine Liner Brush and lining Lucy's waterline to create that intense smoky feel to the look. Back in with the darkest shade we've used, which is Jacz on the Morphe Y23 brush, and I'm running that as close to Lucy's waterline as possible before smoking it out with the orange shade that we used earlier, which is Hunt's. And using more mascara to coat Lucy's lower lashes. We want all the focus on the eyes today, so I'm going in with a nude lip. So I'm taking the LA Girl Perfect Precise Liner in Cafe and just lining Lucy's lips. Then filling them in with the Australis Velvet Lip Cream in Fearless, which is such a pretty glossy nude. And there you have it. Here is the finished copper look, enhancing blue eyes and paired with a classic nude lip. Please let me know if you would love to see more client makeup tutorials by either leaving a comment down below or giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will be seeing you in my next video. And if you live in Sydney, Australia, then stay tuned for all the giveaway details. Love you guys. Now let's talk about the giveaway. So the next 10 people to make a booking secured with payment to get their makeup done by me will go into the draw where 2 of you will be chosen at random to win a bunch of makeup, which will be valued at the same cost as a trial makeup application, as application at my studio, which is $110. And this giveaway includes brands such as Colourpop, Lime Crime, we have Super Beauty, there'll be brushes, glitter. It's just such a fun giveaway, so you want to make sure that you get in there quick so that you don't miss out on the chance of winning this makeup. Now to enter, all you have to do is head to my website, which will be linked down below, fill in an inquiry form, and once you send that, I will be notified. I'll reply back to you with more details on how we can secure your booking and enter you in the giveaway. Now your booking must be made for this year, so even if your event is the 30th of December, as long as it's 2019, you will be entered. So basically, if you're a winner, you win back your payment in makeup, and I get to glam you up, and even if you're not a winner, I still get to glam you up, which I know we're gonna have so much fun doing. Now I do have a regular deposit and cancellation policy in play, which is listed on my website, or if you would like more details, I will send you my terms and conditions once I have received your inquiry form. But for this giveaway, if you are one of 2 winners, then it is a full payment cancellation fee. So this only comes into play if you are one of 2 prize winners, and this just prevents the event of someone receiving their prize and then cancelling their booking. Don't worry, I will list all the information down below, as well as when the giveaway has closed. So once I receive those 10 bookings, the giveaway will be closed. So if you're a little bit confused whether or not you can still enter, just come back to this video and check the description box down below. Woo! Okay, I think that's it. Oh my goodness, I am so excited about this giveaway and I hope that you are too. And hopefully I will be hearing from you guys very, very soon, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.